And just like that, I finished the Suffering. What a what a hectic game. My gosh, took me a while, but man, I love it. I finally saw the ending. I always saw the beginning, but it through my head. But it's like the ending. Oh, deep, deep. There has to be a second one somewhere. But man, what a good game. Oh my goodness, me finishing a horror game back in the PS2 days before GTA 6. Damn. Okay, seriously, but yeah, here I am talking about a game that I finished a few minutes ago or something like that. And my goodness, I didn't realize the twist was there. I always keep remembering, and you know what? I probably shouldn't spoil it, but the beginning is so different from what I realized up till the end. You see what I mean? But yeah, what's up, guys? Vince Reddy here. I am in a journey to finish a whole bunch of games that I remember back in my childhood, and this is just one of them that I came across the suffering because I had that in the back of my head. The same thing with Manhunt, and Silent Hill, like the original Silent Hill series that I remembered in the PS2 days. And this is kind of like a journey just to begin that. So might as well start it off with a blast, which is the suffering. And to me, this game was nostalgic for what it gives, and also dark for how it delivers its story and everything like that. But here I am sharing my thoughts about the game. And I gotta say, like, the satisfaction of just collecting things in these old games is always so fun. It's usually platformers. I don't know if you would call this a platformer at all. It isn't. It isn't. It's a horror game. But what kind of horror? Platformer horror? There's like RPG horror. There's like narrative horror, like click point and click horror games, which I don't know. And I want to be honest here. I don't really play a lot of horror games at all. Horror is kind of like, a very interesting taste for me when it comes down to ever diving in. It's always have to be in the right time of day. And I finished this on the right time of day. And here I am talking about the game and my enjoyment of like what it gives. Because the thing is that there's something about the suffering from what I remember. Either this one or there's another suffering game. I believe it's the second one. I just found out about that. I could be wrong. But the suffering, to me, at least from what I remember, is always sort of like, I don't know why I think of it as very Disney-esque, like very theme righty. There's just something about the suffering from what I remembered compared to now as I look at it, and I'm like, okay, this is literally a shooter arcade game. Like, it's kind of like a shooter. I don't know, it's like the way I played it, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because of it being the PS2, and I guess I count all PS2 games in a sense surrounding this. From what I remember, is that they're just so arcadey. It's like you're just shooting. You're not getting points much shooting, but you are getting collectibles and stuff like that. You're shooting enemies. You're shooting like difficult. You can actually spend time taking out everyone in one place, basically through all the enemies and stuff like that, which I find enjoyable. And yeah, that's why I kind of think of it as kind of arcadey as of now. But back then, it was horrifying. It was magical. It was like, and it's magical is a weird word because here you are in this weird place filled with other killers and people, crimes and creeps, and just, and, you're kind of like trying to survive, and you see other people dead and dying, and you see all these death scenes from all these other inmates, cops, guards, and stuff. You also have to work with a lot of other people that are know you for your history, because it basically starts off of you going to jail, Torque being the main character, and going to jail because he basically murdered his own family and stuff like that. Messed up, I know. There's a reason why this game is 18 and plus, because the story is definitely for a mature audience that even as a mature person wouldn't even stomach this at all. But
just how it just really goes in, and you kind of just want to know really what the main story is. And it's not only the arcadey kind of shooting aspect of this game, but it's also the story. It's the universe that they're in, the world. Like, what the heck is this place? Why there's this asylum, there's this docks, which is most like horror games itself. I've seen asylums and docks, harbors, and freaking prisons all over in these types of games. The sinking city is one of them. And the suffering kind of sort of like does that pretty well for what I expect. You go into different areas and you pretty much just find sort of items that you need, that you're looking for, but it's not gonna really matter much if your like flashlight batteries are already up, to like a complete level of just like of what you have. Like, you already have all the batteries, you already have all, like, the health, what is it, pills or whatever that you have to take to actually, for, or medication or whatever, to actually help you, so you can be alive. And pretty much that, like, there's a lot of couple things here, like ammo and stuff, so I wouldn't say it's a collectible, but it sort of feels like it. I mean, I've been playing platformers for so long, to the point where now I adapt that style of collectathon, or just any game of that genre, to any game, even though it's a horror, like, disturbing game that is terrifying. I still kind of like go into my full on, I play it like as if it's Mario or something, even though it's a dark Mario. But I really enjoyed the suffering. I don't know if this was a classic for others, but really looking into the story and the history of this island, when you collect all the pages, is quite fascinating. And you see all the people that you're working with, the either the guards, a random person in the docks, or just anyone. They know your history, they have a different perspective, but they can't kill you. The thing is that you have a decision to kill them. And the first that you meet them, that you're introduced, that's your decision. I never really took the route of actually killing whoever I meet, because in realistically, and also in a gaming sense, I'm not a monster. I'm the type of person that would respect anyone when I play GTA, because I'm just that guy. I don't have the guts to freaking run people over, even though they're like glitching on the freaking freeway. No, Nico Bellic, just drive around him and boom, I accidentally hit him. That actually happens. Oh man, those were the days. I hope I have a series of reviewing those kinds of games, because GTA 6 is coming. But these, the moments of me going into the suffering, and especially the boss battles and everything, I don't know what it is. It is a theme ride. It is definitely a thrill of what this game can really bring, and sort of like, put into life, and just like how it showcased. And there's different mechanics, there's different things that I'm lost. I think I did actually at least 3 or 4 times of looking up walkthroughs of like where to go. But yeah, it's kind of fascinating that I finished this game, because usually I just don't like horror games. I'm just not that. It's just not something in me. But here I am, just having, And the thing is, it was all because of the Sinking City which is one of my favorite horror games, if you would ever call that, next to Silent Hill. Like this, like that's one of my all-time favorites. It made me want to play a lot of those types of games that are creepy and horrifying, just like the Little Nightmares, or like what else, like like Fatal Frame, like Silent Hill, and of course The Suffering, and some other games that I kind of remember and I want to play them. I guess, and also in some sense to Fallout as well. I don't know what it is. The Sinking City is just like my all-time favorites. I just adore that game so much, and and it makes me want to play it again now thinking about it. Now for this, The Suffering, if I would recommend to anyone, I mean, yeah, just know what you're getting into. Play it during the day. You will get some jump scares, or at least some jump scares. I don't feel like there's jump scares. There's just like this disturbing imagery, and I'm just letting you know there's this disturbing imagery that I can't spoil, because I'm just warning you. This is not the game for the faint of heart. It's dark. It's twisted, but also it's kind of fun. It's arcadey in a sense. So I mean, that's what I kind of see it through it as. I mean, the story itself, and also I really want to get to the spoilers, and this is the part where you sort of have to log out, because I don't want to spoil for anyone that is really looking into playing this, because it definitely is worth it. But the thing is that I might as well be blunt and vague when it comes down to spoiling it, because here's the thing. From the story of him, Torque himself, of murdering his own family, and all the visions and everything, which kind of gets annoying, to be honest. I get it. You murdered his family. Like, stop showing his son and stop showing them. Which I kind of like. That has to be not only annoying, but also very disturbing for Torque. I can only imagine him being like, "Damn, what? Okay, geez." Like, and the thing is that the truth is, and this is where the spoiler gets into. None of that is true. There was somebody in the scenes that actually happened, and that's when I was like, the moment I saw that, I was like, Suffering 2. I was like, no wonder there's another game just to complete the freaking story, of course. And I just knew it. I just knew it. There was a part of me where I was entering this boss battle, and I was like, there's gotta be a second. There is. There is. There was a second, installment to this franchise. I just know, which should be a major franchise. The Suffering should be much more. Like, I don't know where Torque would go after that, avenging for his family and stuff. But damn, that has to be dark. I don't know. There's something about this game where it just shows America, like, yeah, there's some messed up people. Messed up people. In this prison in the freaking islands, freaking Alcatraz, like I can only imagine the amount of stuff that goes down here. You kind of see it, you kind of witness it, but it's also much more. Like, the moment I got into the intro, and I saw these other people, and the moment that we are introduced to some of the characters that are already dead, except for Torque, like, there was this one where I'm just like, ugh, you know it, you feel it, and you're just like, thank goodness is dead. You know what I mean? I thought it would Torque was gonna be friends with them in a sense, specifically the guy that sounded a little bit like Samuel L. Jackson, but I guess not. I don't know. But yeah, this game really showcased a lot of things, very of its time, and also I'm looking forward to play the second one. What is it called? The Suffering that Binds Us All, or something like that. I mean, I probably have to get through Silent Hill because I've been itching to really get into that game. But yeah, the Suffering. What a good time. What a good time. But yeah, other than that, also, I don't really use a lot when it comes to turning into a monster. I get that's the perk, and also helps you really kill all the enemies and stuff. I prefer the shooting for all of this, especially with the shotgun. I'm a shotgun type of person. I love using the shotgun, to be honest. But the Suffering is a hell of a game. I mean, wow. It's creative, it's well done, and it's also fun. But overall, it is something, something dark. Other than that, I'll see you when I see you. We'll live in peace, and yeah, God bless.